Coach Teresa Ford here, and this is the Guiding You Home podcast. This is a thought-provoking and often humorous approach to moving you closer to the only one who can genuinely help you live a life of abundance and prosperity. Sound good? Yeah, it's you that needs to go within so you can sit in the driver's seat of your life, co-creating with God. So make room for more light and knowledge. As you continue to listen, you will discover elements of how to lead with your inner light, how to act on your specific promptings, and how to follow your spiritual intuition so you can fulfill the measure of your creation. Thanks for being here, and let's dive in. Welcome. I am excited to be here for this episode with you because I want to talk about something that just never gets talked about, and that is your ability to develop your spiritual gifts. You have so many gifts. Some of them have been developed, but some of them you are unaware of. And if you are unaware of them, probably it's safe to say those are the areas of your life that you are struggling. Because when you develop your spiritual gifts, that's the leader. That's the person who is leading your life. When you leave it to your brain to lead your life, good old Controlzilla, you're just trying to think your way through life. And if there's life in the future, which there is, life in the future has never been lived before. You don't have a handbook for it. But your inner guidance system, your infinite intelligence, that's the person, when it's vibrating high, that can guide you, lead you, walk into the future, leave the struggle behind, lessen the struggle. It's like the peace and satisfaction and the love and all the good stuff is coming from your intellect, your intelligent being, your spiritual intellect. So I have once in a while shared this story, and I wasn't actually going to talk about it, but that's what's coming up. So I had an out-of-body experience, and it was while I was asleep. So some people have called it a dream, but I know what I experienced, and dreams can be weird and they can not make a lot of sense when we try and explain them when we wake up. My dream was not like that. It was absolutely crystal clear, every last detail, and I knew I was standing in front of an infinite being. I was not in my body. They were not in a body. Yet the countenance of this person, once he came to this world, looks exactly the same now as he did in the spirit form. But there were no eyes. There were no mouth. There was no mouth. We weren't speaking to each other with words. All the time that it takes to think up a word or think up a sentence, think up an idea, translate it into words and speak it out loud. That is a worldly thing. That takes time. Time is on this earth. Time is not in heaven. There is no such thing as time in heaven. You can literally travel at the speed of thought, and you can have interactions with another being at the speed of thought. And it's literally an instantaneous transfer of ideas. And there's no time. It doesn't take any time to do. So as I was in front of this infinite intelligence, our communication was just seamless. He let me know what I needed to know, and I absorbed it. I didn't really have anything to say. I was spending more time thinking, I should kneel down in front of this infinite being that is so glorious and so magnificent. But I realized I didn't have knees. So if you don't have knees, you don't kneel down. So I just stood there and put my attention on this being, and that's when he delivered, just through our infinite intelligence, was telling me what I needed to know about him. And it turns out it was my son, and I was not pregnant with him yet at the time. But 3 months later, I became pregnant with him, and it was during a time when I was contemplating, should I have another child or not? And lo and behold, there was the answer. But in this experience, I learned what it was like to be in that higher vibration. And I'm not so sure that it's realistic to say you could obtain that in this life, but I do believe that it gave me a barometer to say, if I feel yucky, if I'm not feeling good, if I feel sad, grief, loss, frustration, anger, rage, if I'm feeling anything on that negative scale, I am not operating according to my gifts, my spiritual gifts. I am vibrating down here on a much lower level. So in this life, it is our job to go from that negative vibration to a higher vibration. That's when you know you're operating from a place that is your true self. Like that's what you're here to do. And so when you are able to transcend your vibration, when you're like really struggling and you want your frequency to raise because you're tired of feeling, everything's hard, I feel stressed, I'm worried, I'm concerned, my focus is on what hasn't happened yet, and it's causing me a lot of angst and anxiety. When that is happening, you are vibrating at a very low frequency and is not who you are. You are a high vibing, infinite intelligence in a body, which already kind of lowers that ability to hit the ceiling on your vibrational efforts. But there is a much deeper, more meaningful place that we can vibrate from when we develop our spiritual gifts. Now, as I say that, I want you to picture your life. I want you to picture what the struggle is for you. Where is your life hard? What is holding you back? Why aren't you feeling the love, feeling the value, feeling your worth, feeling your validation, feeling your acceptance, feeling your sense of being, your sense of purpose, your sense of satisfaction with your life and the places you're going? Now, if you have this perfect satisfaction of your life and you don't have, honestly, a care in the world, and all the stories you tell yourself are positive and motivating, then thank you for doing your part in the world, because we're better off to have you with us. But if you are like me, who is kind of on this roller coaster of healing old wounds and transcending the shadow into the gift, and I'm trying to find that pathway faster, more effective, more efficient every single time. When I drop low, how do I get back to high? Quickly, very quickly. And you do that by understanding what your spiritual gifts are. You have to know what it is you're trying to transcend. And it's not just from sad to happy. It's so much more than that. And so I want to give you some examples. So one of the ways that I help people improve their life experiences is through the gene keys. So the gene keys it's a profile of your DNA. It's a profile of how you were built and what you came here to do. And so it holds all of the unique specifics and specifications for your journey. And only you can fulfill this journey. Only you can take on the essence of who you are as an infinite being. So let me give you some examples from my profile. My life's work, it's not to be a life coach. Being a life coach actually complements my life's work. And my life's work is to go from unease, that's the shadow, to intuition. And if I really ramp it up and I have a little extra time at the end, because I have a feeling this is going to take years, but if I get to that place where intuition is just automatic. It's just clicking and there's no struggle to it. There's just not a lot of wavering. I don't dip down into unease again. I go right into I'm always in that state of intuition. Then the next level up is clarity. And clarity is having no agenda. How can you have no agenda in this life, right? But that is what I'm here to transcend. So if I know what my life purpose is, to go from unease, I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of unease in my life. In the last episode, 39, I talked about the struggle. My whole life has been a struggle, and I didn't know how to live my life without a struggle. I didn't know how not to fight for my validation, my love, my acceptance, my significance. I didn't know how to stop doing that. And instead, just be in love and creativity and in this space of enjoyment, peace, ease, flowing downstream, letting my life happen, trusting the process and trusting the path of my life without trying to control it. I almost don't want to say it because it might jinx it. It's getting easier? Okay. Universe, just don't punish me for saying that. But I have to say, as I have become more aware of what I'm here to do, it's been easier to consciously pull myself back on track. When I fall out of love, which is to drop to a lower vibration, my goal is, okay, what is my goal? And so I mentioned that the highest transcendent goal of my life path, my life purpose, my life's work is clarity. Clarity is the art of softness. That one is really challenging me. The idea of the art of softness. Because anytime I remember how somebody hurt me, or somebody wasn't nice, or somebody was unfair and unjust and all the things, I go all the way back down to unease. And that is not me. I mean, it is on the disintegrated point, but it's not me, the me that I love being. That's not me. And so anytime there is a lack of love, I drop out of my gift and back into the mud. But in my gene key profile, so this is gene key 57, and I have a line 1, which means that I am the creator. So line 1 in this sense means creator. So now, can you, like, okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 pathways in your gene key profile, and this is just one. So this is called my life's work. It goes from unease to intuition to clarity, and clarity is the art of softness. And then I have a line 1, and that means that I am the creator. That means that through my creativity as a creator, I can move myself easily from this low vibrational energy of unease, uncertainty, lacking confidence, lacking love, to my gift, which is intuition, to trust myself, trust my path, trust the things that come to me spiritually, that I can say, oh, you're never wrong. Now, Controlzilla is like, no, but we'll reason our way out of the intuitive information that's coming to you. I have to learn to shut off Controlzilla, because that's where unease comes from, and learn to develop my spiritual gift of intuition, to be intuitively guided, to live by the spirit, if you will. That is what it means to develop your spiritual gifts, is to be in tune with the spirit that is supposed to be the leader. But Controlzilla sits on top of the body. It controls even how you feel, how you move. It can take over your whole life, and it can just feel like a struggle. It can feel so hard to just be you. But if you know what your life work is, and I don't know what it is, we'd have to run a chart for you. But to know your life's work, now you're not like, oh, my life is all about the achievements and the accomplishments and the things that I've done in my life or the people I've loved. It is about the people you've loved, but it's specific. It's much more specific than that. But we're not just a checklist. Like, I have a mentorship open right now, but my ability to transcend my shadow of unease and develop my gift of intuition so that I can get to that place of clarity, which is practicing the art of softness all the time, is not dependent on whether or not I run a mentorship. It's the mentorship that complements my ability to be an intuitive initiator. That's the point of developing a spiritual gift, is that who I am when I'm vibrating high from my infinite intelligence, that bright, shiny being that has all the glory and all the magnificence, because it's in you too, right? We're talking about all of us. To become that person that vibrates on as high as we can get in a mortal field, in a mortal body where we have to play to time and gravity and the heaviness of who we are. The heaviness of how we have to live. That's a better way to phrase it. That when we are able to develop those higher vibrational gifts, now we can operate and respond to life with tools in our pockets. So let's say I'm living vibrationally in the realm of intuition. What are the chances that I'm going to make better decisions? What are the chances I'm going to live in a higher state of love? What are the chances I will find more balance in my life through prosperity and clarity? Super high. Super high. Am I going to transcend trauma patterns? Yes. Am I going to transcend emotional negative cycles? Yes. Does it feel good? Absolutely. But we need to find out what your life's work is, don't we? Wouldn't you love to know that? I would say that as I have studied the gene keys, which is a lot. It's a lot. They say it takes 7 years to absorb it all. But if you understand, like I only shared one of my pathways, which is my life's work, and I can give you a couple more examples, but when you develop those kind of gifts, what can't you do? Like you're not going to live in the struggle. You're not going to live in the pain. You're not going to live in the past. You're not going to live in the trauma. You're going to heal the wounds. You're going to transcend the shadow. You're going to take your life to the next level and really eliminate fear, doubt, struggle, chaos. Like, wouldn't that be nice? Just get rid of all that stuff. I think it's the only way to go. That's what I think. But having had a very traumatic past, having emotional neglect in my past, trying to figure out how to earn love or what does and doesn't work in that realm, which is so much work. Let's not do that. Just be here. And then your ability to imagine your future. Imagine the things that you want. Imagine the relationships you want to have. Imagine feeling in a state of bliss most of the time. It's not going to be all of the time because we're always being challenged. We're always being tested to see, are you sure you really want to stay in this high vibrational state? Let's just check. And then you're offered an opportunity to disintegrate, and you can choose to disintegrate or you can choose not to disintegrate. And when you develop your spiritual gifts, you generally are aware enough of what the temptation is to join the argument. Someone wants to invite you to their argument and you join them, down you go. You get to keep the struggle. But learning about who you are and why you're here and what your gifts are, you will never feel more like yourself than when you start to transcend the shadow into the gift. And you stay in that gift more often than not. And life is funny that way. As soon as you learn something more and you say you want something better, life is going to offer you all the opportunities to see if you're serious. Are you sure? How about now? And when you get serious about your life and developing those gifts inside of you, leading from your spirit, everything gets better. Like, it just gets better. But that's not to say you're not going to have the wounds show up, because they do show up. As soon as you say, I want to feel better, I want to do all this gift developing spiritual leadership stuff. As soon as you say that, just watch. This is normal. It's part of the process. You don't get to bypass it. You don't get to skip it, because you're a human too. But it literally, the wounds show up. And you're like, disintegrate. I hate that. Heal the wound and then integrate. And then you're like, do-do-do, it feels good being me. And then wham, life offers you an opportunity to disintegrate. Are you sure you want to integrate? You want to, like, are you going to stay down? Or are you going to rise? That's how you develop your gifts. It's like you choose again and again to rise to the occasion. But it's not wrong to disintegrate, because that disintegrated state means there's a wound there that needs attention. It needs a hug. It needs some love. It needs some acceptance. It needs some release. And when you can do that work, back you go, right back into a really good high vibrational state. A lot of people think that when they do the work, it's going to be depressing and it's going to reopen all the wounds and pick at the scabs, and it's going to be ugly. I don't believe in doing that. It might be noisy. It might be a little bit ugly, some ugly faces, ugly crying, but that's not wrong if you get it out of your body. And when you get it out of the body, what happens then? Back to the spirit. Back you go, being your true self, your higher self. Okay, so let me give you one more example. So I thought this was funny when I first learned about it. I'm going to share with you what my radiance is. Your radiance is everything that keeps you healthy. Okay, and so there's four different pathways in your gene keys that keep you healthy. It's your purpose, your evolution, your life work, and your radiance. That's kind of like the four pieces of the diamond. And so my radiance is gene key 53. And I was like, oh, that's why I chose my parents, because the disintegrated state, the low vibrational energy of my shadow in the radiance pathway is immaturity. I was like, how interesting is that I chose immature parents to come and be in their family so that I could learn how unsatisfying being immature as an adult is. But when you take that immaturity and raise the vibrational energy to the gift is expansion. Like I said, when I learned about these gene keys for myself, nothing felt more true. It's like the intuition in me is like, yes, I knew that was in you. I knew that was part of you. And it just sort of validates what you've known about yourself all along. But expansion is absolutely part of my life path, and it's where I thrive. I can't not expand. Like, I have piles and piles and piles and piles of books. And sometimes I just need a title, I need a paragraph, I need a chapter heading. I just need just a little piece of that book, and my mind just goes, wow. It, like, all the applications just come to mind, because it is this intuition, which is part of my life's work, that is at work. It's opening up all the ideas and all the possibilities of what can be done with this new information. And so that is part of my expansion. If I am not growing and expanding, I feel like I am dying. Like my life is over. Why am I even on the earth anymore? What good am I to the world, like to my people, to anyone, if I'm not growing and expanding? So that's the gift, is to live in that state of expansion that just makes me go, yes, that is me. But if I ever get to the point where I can take that infinite intelligence and take the gift of expansion and raise it up even higher to a higher vibrational state, it becomes superabundance. Isn't that cool? Like, that makes me so excited to be me. I want you to be so excited to be you. I want you to know what keeps you healthy. I want you to know what's part of your life's work, your purpose, and your evolution. I want you to know what your hologenetic pathway looks like, what your DNA, the way you're built, what you're born to do here on Earth. Because it's not the checklist. It's not doing the laundry, doing the dishes, shopping, being somebody important on social media, building a business. Whatever you do that makes you feel good is to your betterment. But when you understand what you're here to do to build and develop your spiritual gifts, go from the shadow to the gift, and maybe even to that higher elevated city, you are the beneficiary of the experience, the satisfaction of being you, and being this high vibrating person that shares their gifts with the world. Like, now you can be you, and you're so confident in being you because it makes so much sense. I want you to have that. Like, when I discovered this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's like someone giving you all the answers to the test, because now you know that when you're not feeling good, not doing well, not, living in love, but playing towards fear, that you're not being your true self. That's not you. You're not a low vibe person. You're a high vibe person. And when you know what the exact goal is, like, I know it is my job to contemplate the art of softness and align myself with it. Everything gets better after that. But if you know what your life path is, what your life work is, if you know what keeps you healthy, what makes you feel alive, then you can do it. Like, if you don't know what it is, it's like, I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm going to make it about religion. I'm going to make it about God. I'm going to make it about, all these problems, nothing makes sense. I'm having a faith crisis. I'm having all you're doing is trying to find the pieces of you that you don't know what they are. And so you're like living in that low vibe place. I want you to have the answers to the test. I want you to know what it means to you to feel that you have absolute clarity from where you are to where you're going. That you've got an exact roadmap on how to get there and what it means to arrive there, stay there, live life from that point. Even from the aspect of you're probably going to disintegrate before you integrate again. But if you know what it is, there's no more guessing. There's no more dissatisfaction in the world. There's no more problems. Everything's perfect. It's all happening in perfect timing. You're trusting your life. You're letting go. God, take the wheel. Like, God's in charge. He has a plan. You're just here in the service of the higher good of all. That's it. That's your legacy. That's the lesson you leave behind as one of the greatest teachers your loved ones will ever meet. Does that feel good? I just love it. I just love knowing what I'm here to do and why. And it gives me absolute clarity to know. And so I'm hoping that you want to know too. So please reach out. You can email me, teresafordcoaching@gmail.com, and let's talk about your gene keys. Let's talk about what you're here to do. And if you want to do this over the course of a year and do it in a group where you're fully supported and we talk about you all the time, click on my mentorship link and let's get going. You've got a work to do, and you're the only one that can deliver this work in this world. So let's go. I can't wait to meet you and work with you and answer any questions you may have. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. I invite you to leave your feedback and share your aha moments as you listen to this podcast. Also, you can access more information or any of the programs, courses, or worksheets that I've mentioned on these episodes on my website at teresaford.life. Or what I would really love is for you to connect with me on Instagram at teresaford.coaching and on Facebook at Coaching with Teresa Ford, so I can give you more interesting insights and further coaching to help you fulfill the measure of your creation.